Hello everyone. For those of you who regularly subscribe to my channel, I'm going to be uploading more videos on planning and my techniques of planning. Um, I was busy last semester for the last 6 months of last year because I was doing my we started a BA program, that is an undergrad program, and I was doing a lot of teaching and correcting of assignments. But this year I've settled down and I'm not doing as much in terms of teaching, but I have a lot of projects planned. So I wanted to share with you that I had got this Leuchtturm in the George Washington State University's bookshop in Seattle, and it's a dotted points Leuchtturm and notebook, and I think the color is very, very beautiful. It's blue and I really loved it. I was hoarding it thinking that I will start using this when there is an important year or there's something more very, very important for us to do, and so then I thought I will use that book for that time. But then what I realized is this may be the most important year of my life, because the word that I have for this times is called create. I have big plans, career advances, a lot of other stuff that I'm planned for this year, and instead of this card says it all, my adventure awaits. So I'm going to I'm tucking this journal card into my into the rubber band of the Leuchtturm like this. This is the Bujo that I'm going to keep at home. I'm not going to be carrying it unless, of course, I'm traveling for a long distance, for a longer time. So instead of carrying my planner, I'm going to be carrying this in case I travel. And so that is if I'm traveling for more than a week, or if I'm going to my other house in Bangalore. So that is one thing. So let me just share, and since this is a public video, I may be sharing stuff that that my office people don't know, or personal projects. So I will probably not share those details of what I'm planning with you. I may use this card to just block out the details of the topics that I'm using, but so I have a very good planning system in place at home. This is the Cocoa Daisy inside the Webster's Pledge Navy, and the Cocoa Daisy insert has a monthly view where I mark the overview of my events and where I am if I'm traveling. Then I have my budget plan, my savings plan for the year. So I thought I'll also talk about the savings plan. It's a very interesting plan. This is not my actual savings plan, but this is a sort of a plan. It's a mini savings plan. I've seen some people do a version of this. I couldn't remember where I saw it. But basically what you do is you start a fund. Let us say if there's a fund, this FS3, right? So you start putting in money every week and you kind of double it, right? So FS3, as you can see, in the first month I'm putting 100, in the second month 200, in the third month 400, in the fifth then 800, 1600. I decide what's the maximum amount I can take out of my savings per month, and so then I will put that as a midpoint, like 1600, and then again 800, half of that, half of that, half of that, and then 100. So in a couple of 9 or 10 months I will have some amount of money saved up for some treat I want to buy, or some planner supplies or whatever. So I've started 3 mini funds. One is slightly large because I want to buy a dishwasher. The others are tiny ones. Like the minimum amount I'll start with is 187. Then what I did is, after I decided that, I staggered the fund so that in 1 year, in 1 month, I'm not saving more than 6,000 rupees or 7,000 rupees. Because sometimes if you're going to pay 6,000 for this and 6,000 again, that'll be like 12,000. That is too much for you to take out of the budget and plan. So I've created a kind of a budget plan in this yearly sheet which comes in Cocoa Daisy. It comes every month. So since I started it in January, I usually will hold back this month in the planner itself. I'm not going to put it away. I'll put the weeklies and the dailies away. I've gone back to using the Coco Daisy Weekly with an overview of the chores and everything that I have to do with the stickers. And then of course I then have the daily, which the word for this year for me is create. So following a Coco Daisy video, she puts her she uses a transparency a thick vellum on which she keeps her word for the year. So I also put it on this transparency. So this is the Webster's Pages bookmark that comes in the planner. So I used that and wrote down create. So I will be reminded of the word of the year. Create is a very interesting word for me because it's about creating people, creating projects, creativity projects. It's about, so you create people. So if people are upset or something, you create them as happy. And create is also something that is close to my heart because I'm a crafter and I'm an original thinker. So I can create papers, I can create a new job for myself, I can create new looks for myself, I can create a new hobby. And of course, as a crafty planner girl, I'll also create new stuff and learn new crafts this year. So create is something that gives control in your hands so you can make the life that you want to. Rather than make, I feel create has got a beautiful ring to it, and so I love that word. It just came to me and I kind of feel related to it already, and it's already started working its magic in my life. I've started working on book alteration projects, which is a kind of a new craft that I took on. So this is my planner. So what I did is I started reading David Allen's Get It Done Method book. And then I realized that I am having a lot of projects. Tasks are very well managed in this. I realized that writing it down in my planner is the last step of the Get It Done method. So this is like engage. So I'm actually writing down my actions for each thing, but there is no place where I'm writing down the projects or the overview of the projects I'm doing. So I decided to create the bullet journal as a project list. So yesterday, as I was reading David Allen, and he said you write down everything that you want. He says capture. So I created a page which I call the project dump and simply wrote down everything that I had in my mind that is incomplete. That's what he suggests, just to dump it in one place. So I just took this list and started. It'll probably increase. So every time I felt something that was not done or that was kind of nagging for begging for my attention, some project, something, I just wrote that down in one dump list. And then he says then you have to actually, after you capture it, you have to kind of classify, then organize, then reflect on it, then engage with it. So engaging is when you write it down in your planner as tiny to-do notes which you can actually fulfill. So I decided to create a project oriented breakdown of these, because many of them are long-term projects. They go on for 3-4 months, 5-6 months, and I find that the daily and the weekly pages are not sufficient of the planner to capture that. So I decided to move all my projects, particularly home projects, home related and writing personal projects, into my personal bullet journal. And since I already have a bullet journal in the office, it is not the Leuchtturm, it's just another notebook. I will move the office projects into that, because the office projects are going to finish in the semester. They are mostly semester long or a year long. For example, admissions has started this year and we are supposed to do these interviews. So there will be a project for admissions. So that will finish after the semester. I can throw away the office bujo, but the bullet journal that I'm going to use in the home, that I have to keep. So the first step to creating a project bullet journal or creating project pages in your bullet journal is to basically start with a rough sheet where you write down all those major projects. A project is something, says David Allen, that takes more than one task and it requires a period of time. So some of them could be yearly projects, monthly project, or it could be some kind of outcomes which are like renew your passport or get your dentist tooth filled. So that's a project, right? So the ones that are ticked are the ones that I move into the home bullet journal, and I shall take this sheet to the office and then finish up the entries for the office. And then as more comes in, I have place here to fill in more projects and then keep shifting them. So that is the first stage. you know, when you're setting it up, it always takes a little more time. Once you set up and you get used to the system, you can go on doing this work faster and faster, and it gets into your system. It hardly takes any time for me to plan nowadays. A maximum of 1 or 2 minutes. So let's begin with the bullet journal. I'm sure you have reviews of the Leuchtturm. I'm not going to go over the Leuchtturm, but basically the Leuchtturm is meant for bullet journaling because it has a page, it has an index page where it has a page numbers and a topic. Now let me come back to the index after showing you the kinds of things I've done. So first what I did is I love stickers, so I put stickers in my bullet journal. Well, some people are beautiful at drawing and I'm not. My handwriting is rather, it's functional. It can be pretty when I want to, but basically I'm more interested in the functional aspect of my handwriting than in it be looking very pretty. So the first thing I had to give up was that my handwriting should look like some of those bullet journals that I see on Instagram. Well, they are photographable. Those people have beautiful handwritings. They have beautiful pens. But basically what I need is the bullet journal to work for me. So as long as it works for me and it is reasonably legible and clean, I think it's my bullet journal. So I can always put stickers and stuff and decorate it. So that's the thing. Proud Planner Addict. And I haven't filled in my address because I knew I was going to fill the video. I don't want the address to be filled. Here's a sticker from Popfizz paper which I've been holding. I think the bullet journal deserves it. It says, if it does not challenge you, it does not change you. So challenges bring change. So I'm going to look at, so the point is when challenges come, you look at it creatively. Here is my word of the year again. This is a Reset Curl sticker, and again the Popfizz Himalayan Crystal. The Himalayan Crystal represents a kind of intentionality of purpose for me, because Himalayan Crystal usually intensifies whatever purpose you have, and it's a kind of a sacred crystal, semi-precious stone which has very good vibration. It's also called the Tibetan crystal, and so this is a beautiful crystal by Danny Manning of Popfizz paper. Now here's the list of stuff I've done. As you can see, I've left gaps. That's because there are gaps in the book itself where I've done. I've just filled up the first 20 pages. I thought I'll just share the system with you. So the first thing is I wrote down what I'm going to write in the book, which is the first page. It is basically Bujo in the get it done style, and as he adds more stuff and tells us how to do more stuff, I will add those pieces into the bullet journal.